When can I take my hands off the wheel in my Tesla? And I think it'll be sooner than you expect.
I'll go through all of today's Tesla stock news, including the Tesla move that surprised investors, Elon Musk's bullish remark, and I'll start with a short clip from ARK Invest, and I'll come back for a deeper dive into it at the end of the video.
One common criticism of Tesla is that they've been talking about robotaxis for a long time. And the question is, okay, well, where is it? Well, I actually think we've seen a lot of progress over the past few years, notably in their full self-driving software that they released to consumers, and they just took that out of beta mode, right, and allowed a lot more people access to the latest version of the software. And what we're seeing in the videos that many people are posting online is that it's already possible to complete, nearly full drives, fully autonomously, right? So there's still someone behind the wheel, they have their hands there just in case. It's not perfect, so that, it's not quite perfect yet, but I think that we're closer than ever. And I think that, we take confidence in all the improvements that we've seen in AI over the past few years as well. I mean, that has to help autonomous driving. We do see early elements of some things, some improvements that we've seen from large language models, for instance, bleeding over into the development work that's happening for autonomous driving. So we're really more excited than ever. I mean, we think this is going to drive the future value of Tesla when we look out 5 years. We think it'll be 2/3 of the enterprise value in 5 years. So we're super excited about it. Can't wait for August.
This time it is quite different. If you don't feel like that, it's because you haven't tried V12. I'm looking forward to the new Tesla stock price target from ARK Invest. We know is going to be higher than $2,000. Elon Musk just made a bullish Tesla comment. This is not accurate. Tesla would be the second highest, and X with XAI would be the third if measured correctly. That was Elon's reply to this post. It shows that the first place is at 350,000 H100 GPUs, and the second place is at 30,000. But do you remember this chart from last year from Tesla? This is progress in units of A100 GPUs. Keep in mind though that H100 provides approximately 6 times compute performance improvement over A100. So assuming that this projection turned out to be right, we are above 100,000, maybe at 140,000? 140,000 divided by 6, that's 23,000. But we know when something is built for a specific purpose, it performs much better. So I don't think that math is really all that accurate. Just like James, I'm wondering how much capex did Tesla spend on GPUs in Q1 to alleviate the compute constraint? This will be interesting. Between this Giga Austin's expansion and the 46,500 additional vehicles produced versus delivered, I think there is a good chance that Q1's free cash flow will be negative. But if FSD continues making fast progress, that is completely irrelevant. The latest Tesla move surprises investors. Tesla has settled a lawsuit over a car crash which killed an Apple engineer in 2018 after his car veered off a highway near San Francisco. Court document showed yesterday. It's surprising because the case facts seem to be in favor of Tesla, but as Gary said earlier, there's always uncertainty with a California jury. The case was headed for a trial this week, and not only did it surprise Tesla investors, it also surprised legal experts because there was evidence reportedly showing that person playing video games on his phone just before the crash. And adding more to the surprise, Elon has long said he would never settle an unjust case against Tesla, even if Tesla would probably lose. The worst part here, though, is the settlement, while undisclosed, is likely to lead to more autopilot litigation against Tesla. And I believe Gary's explanation here makes sense. We believe the rationale to settle this case is likely to avoid any negative PR associated with an unexpected adverse jury verdict, which could negatively impact demand and regulatory approvals associated with Tesla Autopilot and the broader FSD technology. We would expect Tesla to decline to talk about this case on the Q1 earnings call on April 23rd, citing ongoing legal proceedings. So Tesla is making a practical move here. This is how mainstream media is going to interpret this move by Tesla. We can take it as an admission of wrongdoing because Elon said, "We, Tesla, will never surrender or settle an unjust case against us, even if we will probably lose. But Fred admits that in practice, Tesla probably didn't want to bring more attention to everything that was coming out of the trial about how it viewed and tried to prevent misuse of autopilot. I think this explanation makes the most sense given the rapid advancements for the robotaxi. They wanted to avoid any huge smear campaign while the trial was on. Check this out. This is great news for us Tesla stock investors. Baird has removed Tesla from its bearish fresh pick list and said the news that the company's robotaxi would debut on August 8th combined with growth in the energy business were positives that weigh against the weaker than expected delivery numbers. Seems like maybe Tesla is going to do a bit more business in Argentina because the president of Argentina will meet with Elon Musk at Tesla's Giga Texas factory this Thursday. And this is more good news. Cybertruck charge curve improvements are coming over the air later this week quarter to unlock up to 154 miles recovered in 15 minutes. A problem was found with Cybertruck charging, but Tesla's Drew Baglino response, we ID'd a corner case, but that sometimes locks posts into 100 amp max when charging Cybertrucks from very low state of charge. Since this guy is so good at arriving with 0% remaining in his battery, he found this corner case a few times. Bug fix piloting right now, will be fully deployed next week. Tesla shared more news with us, down to 4 days from delivery to opening a site with prefabricated supercharger units. Drew Baglino explains, while I agree it may not make a difference in overall site timelines given permitting and utility IX, these prefabricated innovations fundamentally drive down cost per post deployed. Time equals money. We will continue integrating more prefab content, including lighting and solar, to bring more charging value at lower cost for our customers. What's going on here? Chinese EVs are piling up at European ports, and Tesla is partially to blame for the congestion. European ports turned into car parks as vehicle imports pile up. But it's the Chinese EV makers without sales networks or onward transportation among leading causes of congestion. And some Chinese brand EVs have been sitting in European ports for up to 18 months. There's also a lack of truck drivers in Europe. The lack of trucks is a very common problem, said one person familiar with the situation, who added that many vehicles had been reserved by Tesla. Any new brand will be facing this issue. If you don't have scale, if you don't have the regular deliveries, then you are not the trucking group's largest clients. In the meantime, Lucid has just announced its deliveries, and the number is only a number that a mother could love. So I guess a lot of mothers own Lucid stock. I feel bad for anyone holding it. But they did sneak out record first quarter EV deliveries as price cuts took effect. I think this is actually really relevant to us Tesla stock investors. British Columbia, which is where I live, bans level 3 and higher autonomous vehicles. This is in Canada. And the ban even extends to driving a vehicle capable of autonomous driving at these levels without the system engaged. We know that Tesla is at level 2 right now. This bans level 3, 4, and 5. Penalties range from a fine of $320 and 3 driver penalty points. So you do this a few times and you lose your driver's license, and up to a maximum fine of $2,000 with possibly 6 months in prison. However, if you have a permission from the province, then you're all good. I think many places will have a very similar model to this.